Massive fire breaking out in the textile market located at the Pune area of Surat. More than 15 fire tenders have been rushed to the spot. Abhishek is on the phone line with more details. Yes, Abhishek.
Well, Radhika, you see this massive fire started at around 10:30 in the morning in this building, which is called Orchid Towers. And it's essentially a hub of textile businesses. It's a huge building of about 17 odd floors. And as you can see from the visuals, almost whole of the building has been engulfed in this massive fire. You know, the black plumes spreading out far and wide from this building in Pune area of Surat, which is traditionally a textile hub. And this building is also supposedly full of textile businesses. Fortunately, there were no people inside because the businesses were yet to start. It was early morning. And so you can expect that there won't be any casualties, but massive fire operation has been launched. About 20 odd fire tenders already pressed into service. There could be more coming because it's not going to be soon that this fire would be under control, given the scale and size that you can see in the pictures.
Abhishek, we're looking at this massive fire on our screens. Could you describe the area for us? What are the adjacent buildings like to Orchid Towers where this fire has broken out?
Well, you see, this area is basically known for its textile markets, and Surat is traditionally known for two businesses, diamond and textiles, and this is one of them in this area. And you can expect that massive losses would have been incurred in this fire that has engulfed this building. As I was mentioning, fortunately, as yet, no information about whether people were trapped inside. Most of the bystanders and the officials who have been present there, they have spoken to our representative there, and who has been informed that people inside were not there. So it was early in the morning. Most likely it could have been a short circuit that could have led to this build-up of fire. The reason not yet known. It would be known only after the fire has been brought under control. But if you look at the scale and the visuals, it wouldn't be very soon that this fire would be brought under control. Already, as I was mentioning, 20 tenders, more than 20 tenders now, in fact, pressed into service. And you can expect more to come from all the regional fire stations that could be available. And
right.
It's big fire, and it is hoped that there would be no casualties because it was early in the day and the officers were yet to start when this fire took shape.
Now, what are you picking up on what floor did this fire start on? You're telling us, Abhishek, that there are about 15 odd floors in Orchid Towers.
Yes. So see, the fire, we are told, started between third and fourth floors, and then has risen up, and it's about 17 floors that this building is. So you can imagine that how fast this fire must have spread. Essentially, because it's a textile market, you could expect that there would be clothes and one thing leading to another, and that is why this massive scale of the fire and the quick spread of the fire, essentially because it's a textile market, you know.
Yes, we're looking at those massive plumes of smoke, Abhishek. Now, you're telling us that about 20 fire tenders have already been put at work. What are you picking up from the fire officers on the site? Have they confirmed this was a short circuit?
Well, that's the most informed conjecture at this stage, that it should have been a short circuit that led to it. As of now, or at this stage, even as we speak, there is no possibility of any sabotage, though it is not being ruled out. But nothing of that sort has come to the notice of the officers present there. They are believing that it should have been a short circuit and led to this massive build-up, essentially because it's a textile market. But obviously, the exact reasons would be known only after the fire is brought under control and they are able to access the area from where it started between the third and fourth floor. It's a massive building, not just in terms of its height, which is 17 floors, but also in its spread. It's a big. It could be having about 500 odd commercial establishments, and that is why this massive spread of this fire.
Now, Abhishek, what are you picking up on what time this fire was reported and how the fire tenders reached the spot? Were they in time?
Well, yes, we are told that the first call about the fire was received by the nearest fire station at around 10:30. So it's nearing about 1 hour and a quarter hour since this fire has been on. But you can imagine the scale and the speed with which the fire has got built up. Surat is a coastal town, and there can be winds which could have led to this increase or the speed with which this whole building has been engulfed in this fire, which most likely started on between the third and the fourth floor. And at this stage, an informed conjecture is that it could have been because of short circuit. Obviously, the exact reasons would be known only after the fire has been brought under control and the area from where it started is accessed. We are told that the Surat Fire Brigade is fully equipped to deal with it, and they are at the job. More than 20 fire tenders already working, and there have been more that have been called from nearby industrial areas. So the operation to contain and control the fire would gain speed even as we speak, and then you can expect that it should be brought under control. But going by the pictures that we are seeing, going by the scale of the fire that is visible, it won't be at least a couple of hours before this fire can be brought under reasonable control, where it can be the building can be made safe to access it by the fire brigade officers at least.
Abhishek, certainly what we can make out from the pictures is that several floors of this building have been entirely gutted by this massive fire. Now, at this point, what is being done to ensure that the fire doesn't spread further onto other floors?
Well, Radhika, luckily, it's a little isolated, big building. There is, at least at this stage, no fear of this fire going to any other building in the vicinity. So to that extent, it would be safe to say that the fire would be contained within this building only. But what can be said with an element of certainty is that this building won't remain safe for use with the scale that we are seeing. I mean, third floor, the fire has started, gone right up to the top, and this building would definitely not remain safe for use even after the fire has been brought under control.
Now, Abhishek, is the very quick spread of this fire being attributed to the fact that this is a fabric market and there was a highly inflammable material inside?
Well, yes. I mean, that is the most obvious conclusion that can be drawn, given the fact that it's a textile market. There must have been material which must have helped this fire to attain the kind of proportions that it has, and that is why, despite the fact that it's been nearly 2 hours that the fire brigade has been fighting it out at the ground. At the spot, the fire is far from being under control. You can still see, thick black plumes of smoke coming out with no sign that it would be under control anytime soon. So that's very clear that there is some substance inside the building which is helping sustain this strong fire inside, even as fire tenders continue to shower it with strong water cannon and hoping that it is brought under control as soon as possible.
Well, the only silver lining perhaps in this situation, Abhishek, like you're pointing out, is that business hours had not started and there were perhaps very, very few people, perhaps only security guards, etc., who were inside the building. And like you're saying, at this point, no casualties or injuries have been reported.
Well, yes, absolutely. And if at all there was anyone inside in the top floors for night duty or something, that remains to be seen. There are, as of now, no reports whatsoever of any casualties, and people are, when our representative on the ground cross-checked with some of the business establishments, the report coming back is that thankfully there were no people inside, or whatever people were there inside, they were easily evacuated before the fire attained the kind of proportions that we are seeing in pictures now. So to that extent, yes, despite this massive fire and tragedy, the silver line, as you mentioned, is that there are no casualties, and to that extent, that's the only positive that is coming out of this accident as of now.
Of course, we're looking at a huge loss of property there with several floors now engulfed by the fire, Abhishek. But what's the sense that you're getting from fire tenders on the spot? You were telling us that, in fact, more help is being called in.
Well, what we have been told is that apart from the 20 odd fire tenders that are already into service, present into service, there are others who have been called from the neighborhood and industrial areas nearby. So you can expect that the number could increase so that the fire is brought under control at the earliest possible. Because as I was mentioning that it's been nearly 2 hours already, and it won't be at least a couple of hours more before there is a semblance of control over this fire by the fire tenders. The cranes are being used. It's not possible to control this fire from the ground. And so far as destruction of property is concerned, that is massive. Given the scale, it's highly unlikely that this building would be in a position to be used for a long time, if at all. In fact, by all chances, the authorities might decide that this building needs to be abandoned if not outrightly demolished immediately. So, that is the scale of destruction we are seeing already
right.
Before the fire has been brought under control.
Well,